Mentioned the other one the other night. I thought it was a high-level basketball game. I thought both teams played really well. We were fortunate to get the win the other night. Today, I kind of feel the same way. I thought it was a high-level basketball game. I don't know how many games I've been in where, you've been in double-digit deficit twice, come back like we had. We had a 21-2 run in the second half. There were multiple runs by both teams. Both teams obviously were very explosive offensively today. We weren't real thrilled with our transition defense in the first half. I give Indiana credit. They pushed the ball hard. They got us for 24 points in transition in the first half alone. The guys up here and the guys in the locker room know that's too many. And I thought that when I went into halftime that we were down 4, I thought was literally amazing at that point. But our kids fought. I wasn't surprised by that. I mean, they got great fight. I thought we really competed at a really high level. I thought we played really hard. I thought we had great attitude today. I thought we had good leadership today. It wasn't because of any of those things. It was just a high-level game, and unfortunately, they made the last run. We didn't have a chance to make another run. You look at the plays at the end of the game. We had a layup chance. Kid makes a 3 at the end of the shot clock when we got a chance to get a stop with a 72-67 lead. He makes a big 3 that cuts it to 2. Williams makes an athletic tip-in play over the top of 2 or 3 guys. Egwu fouls out on his tip-in opportunity. We get the side-out play right where we want it. We turn it. We got a great 3, decide not to call timeout and try to get it within the flow of the offense and not let them set up their defense. And we get Malcolm Hill at the top wide open on a pretty good 3, and we don't knock that one down. So a lot of times the difference is just a play or two, here or there. And give them credit, they made those plays. But I'm proud of our guys. I think we're really headed in the right direction. These guys have overcome a lot throughout the season. I'm really proud of their effort. Thought they really fought. We got guys who are getting better individually. I think our team's getting better collectively on the offensive end. We've got to get some things shored up on the defensive end. Our defense has not been good enough this past week in either game. Our guys know that, and we've got to get that thing shored up before Purdue comes in here on Wednesday night. Questions for the players?
Just down the stretch, what was the players' feelings about kind of closing that game out and not being able to do it?
We were just making a play. Coach called a play or 2 down the stretch, and we were just trying to execute those plays. And we had some good looks, I believe, down the stretch, and we just missed a few of them, that's all. So we had a good feeling about it.
Kendrick, just the emotions of the game. I mean, it was pretty explosive in the gym at times. What was it like to play in that game?
It was good playing in this arena. The fans showed a lot of support. It was a big, exciting game, man. That's what our guys like.
Even though you guys didn't maybe close out the game like you wanted, did it show you something about yourself, just coming back as many times and kind of hanging in there when it was such a wild back-and-forth game?
That was getting down. We just had to dig and fight, get stops on D, and execute on offense.
My coach mentioned that you guys are headed in the right direction. Is it hard to maybe grasp that or understand that when you're coming off a loss, or is it easy for you to see the big picture?
A little bit when you're coming off a loss, but then you got to think beyond that. Like you said, Coach always talks about the big picture. And we got another one coming in on Wednesday, so like I said, we're going to try to correct some of those mistakes and get better for before they come in here on Wednesday and try to get that one, that's all.
Bob, what did you see out of LeRon? Seems like his best game in a long time. Seems like he's growing.
He's definitely getting better. Coach talked about it the other day in practice, like his defensive, his mentality on defense and picking up the system has definitely gotten better. And he always brings that aggressive, intensity to the game. So we definitely like that. And today he provided rebounds and some scoring and down low transition. So we definitely need that from him. He helped us on the boards big time when they were beating us up a little bit. So that progress has been great, and we're going to need that from him.
Ahmad, you've been talking about how you've been waiting for the 3 to start going down, and today you got a bunch of them. What kind of confidence does that give you going forward?
Oh, it gives you great confidence when you see a couple of them going in, and that's about it. I made some, K-Nunn made a lot, and but we still, like you said, got to clean up the defensive stuff. So that's the most important thing. Those shots will come for us again.
Are you comfortable, Ahmad, with when to shoot, the shots you're taking? Do you feel like you're making good decisions out there, or And have you felt that way all along, or has it been a process for you this season?
I'm pretty comfortable with the shots I've been taking. You know, some shots are difficult shots, but that's kind of the nature of my game in particular. It's just how it happens sometimes. Some of those difficult shots may be not so, you know, maybe bad for someone else, but maybe good for me. So it just depends on the way the flow of the game. Like some of those pull-up shots, it depends on clock management, but some of those I should take and some of those I shouldn't. So just gotta manage those. But I'm pretty comfortable with that, no matter what.
For both you guys to have another game, same in the same place in 2 days, you know, you shot well today. They probably can't come soon enough, I would think. Want to get back out there and keep shooting? Can you each address that?
Yeah, we definitely want to get back out there, but we want to get a win for us more than anything. Like you said, those shots will come all year. Like that's what's going to happen. That's what we do. But the most important thing is getting back Wednesday and trying to get a win and get another W on that column.
Yeah, Miles summed it up pretty well.
Kendrick, is it the best you felt physically this year? Even stringing some games together here and playing pretty well, shooting the ball well. Is this the best you probably felt physically this year?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Get back in rhythm, getting healthy as well too.
Kendrick, what was Indiana able to do to limit you to only 2 shot attempts in the final 13 minutes?
I don't think they did anything in particular. It was just the flow of the game. And guys, I scream for guys to get guys open when I'm not available to shoot.
Anything else for the players? Go.
See.
We've got an older team, so they get that. Obviously, this one's disappointing. You know, you're up, whatever we're up there. We're on a 21-2 run. I mean, that's pretty amazing. We got some guys who are fighters. They've really embraced the next man up mantra, and they've fought and they've got better. They prepared so well for 2 days. I thought their focus and concentration was terrific leading into the Northwestern game. I thought it was great again this time. I thought we practiced well. I thought we played hard. We got individuals getting better. We just didn't win the game today. You know, we didn't finish it as well as we needed to with a play here or there, you know. But they did, and give them credit, you know. I mean, just a small difference, you know. For example, you know, Nana gets an over-the-back call on a tip-in. I thought, could very well be wrong, I thought maybe he got fouled on that tip-in and could have been shooting 2 free throws, you know, versus, you know, Troy Williams going over the top of 3 guys. I didn't feel like he fouled anybody. Maybe I'll feel different when I watch film, but it was a heck of a play, and he tips it in. Just that alone can change the outcome of the game in a tight game like that in the last few minutes. One guy tips it in over the top of 3 guys. One guy gets called for a foul that leads to another point for the other team. It's just the margin for error is so small. You know, Malcolm very, very capable of making that 3. You know, Malcolm's more than capable on an isolation of not turning the ball over. He's done it numerous times. Tonight, you know, Yogi Ferrell made a great play, and they got a layup off of it. So it's just a play or two here or there. That part's the disappointing part, Marcus, you know, because you want to make some of those plays and finish it out. But all in all, like, you know, LeRon Black's improving. Nunn's getting better. Starks was good at both ends. Like, you know, our team, I think, offensively is starting to find more of a rhythm. We're screening better. We're moving the ball better. Like, there's a lot of things we're doing well on that side right now. Defensively is where I'm most concerned. I don't like our numbers in league play. I didn't like them coming into the game. I don't like them coming out of the game, you know. And in this league, as I've said numerous times, you have to defend, you have to rebound, you have to take care of the ball. Tonight we took care of the ball. Rebounding at times we were good. Obviously the possession, another big possessions where they got 3 or 4 offensive rebounds out of their total was in one trip down the floor. You know, that was in the guts of the game as well. You know, so, but defensively right now we've got to have more of an impact if we want to be consistent. You know, you cannot just go and outscore people night in, night out. You know, and tonight we played Russian roulette because you're talking about playing a top 15 team in the country from an offensive efficiency standpoint. The only one we had played better statistically was Villanova. And, you know, they put 80 on the board. You better be really on your offensive game. And fortunately for us, we were, but just not enough to push us over the edge to withstand that last run.
What we were just talking about with Kendrick, 2 shots in the last 13 minutes. We kind of talked about it this week, whether he's got a chance to grab it both hands around the game, but you said, well, but he makes the right plays.
Yeah, flow of the game.
Was that what
Oh, sure. Yeah, it was flow of the game. Yeah, it was flow of the game. I mean, I'm not going to tell Malcolm to pass up a wide open three when he's shot 40% in his career. I mean, he missed it. We got him on an isolation on a sideline, one-on-one on a guard, and he's 6'6". I mean, probably going to take that. We turn it over. He's not trying to do that. So, I think sometimes, you can micromanage the game to an extent, but at the end of the day, your guys got to make basketball plays. If you're doubled, pass it. If you're not, single coverage, make a move. Inside out, like how to play off post feed, how to play off penetration. The beauty of the game of basketball is it's not like chess where you can just move like every time. You got to play in a flow like Kendrick was talking about earlier. And I thought for the most part, that we did that.
Can you elaborate a little bit on LeBron's play and his development?
Yeah, I mean, he's been practicing like that. I'm really proud of him. I've been telling him for a week. I've seen it coming. And the guys have too. Ahmad alluded to that. I mean, he's just making fewer defensive mistakes right now because he understands the system better. He knows what he's supposed to do, how he guards certain things. He's more accountable on that end. He's certainly not perfect, but much more accountable. Very reminiscent of Nunn and Hill about this time last year. Starting to come on that end where they become more trustworthy. Then on the other end, obviously, he's been in practice dominating on the backboard. And today he did a great job on the backboard. I thought he was, really good offensively as well. Thought he impacted the game. Wish he'd have dunked or made that last layup that he had underneath there. That could have maybe also affected the end of the game there, the last 3 minutes. I thought we had a great look, great pass, and it's a point blanker. I mean, but sometimes you can't control those things. But all in all, I think he's really coming on. I'm really proud of the way he's handled himself because he's had to earn it. As he started to make defensive mistakes per minute played and his playing time changed, he has not pouted. He's learned he's come in, he's watched film, he's learned how to get better. And tonight he earned his minutes. And I think all of us, including Ahmad, have all seen that coming over the last week to week and a half. So I'm excited about that.
How important is it to his confidence that you guys made that 21-2 run and he was in for much of it?
Well, I think great for his confidence. But I think biggest thing is like he earned the right to be confident by how he's practiced. The fact that he's gotten better, that he knows what he's doing more now. He's earned that. No one's given him anything. Sometimes, you maybe you have a certain team where you have to play a guy just to play a guy. He has had to earn it, and he had to go through kind of a deal there where, he wasn't playing, maybe as many minutes as he was early in the year, but he knew why, and he didn't pout at all. And I think, at times, sometimes I mentioned this with Nunn last year, negative noise starts to get in your head. People trying to bang pots and pans. He didn't allow that, a lot like Nunn last year. And I think it's a big reason why he stayed the course and why he's playing well.
John, Ahmad played a little with Tate off the ball, and you're playing that. Does that change kind of what he does a little bit? Being able to have another point guard in there?
Yeah, tonight we played some discombobulated lineups. We've done that a lot since our last injury. And, just trying to figure it out. Trying to put us in the best position to be competitive and figure it out. And a lot of it's on instincts right now. We don't have necessarily a set, which is a little bit odd for this late in January, like a set rotation or a set. We're doing the best we can, and the guys have really bought into that, to playing one possession at a time and to putting together game plans that might be potentially different, game in, game out. They've been they've responded well to that. And, tonight I thought our transition defense wasn't good enough, and I thought Indiana's transition offense was electric.
How would you assess Nana tonight?
Nana didn't have a great game tonight. I'm sure he's disappointed. Played a lot of minutes. Didn't affect the game much on the glass, and didn't have a typical Nana game. But he'll bounce back. Nana's tough, and he understands it's a long season. Nana always does a lot of things. I'm sure I'll watch the film and he'll do several IQ things that don't show up on a box score. But even having said that, Shannon, he plays 27 minutes. I mean, we do need him to be a little bit more productive, and I'm confident he will be.
I understand there are, I'm sure, many differences between the two of them, but did Troy Williams play the kind of game you envision LeBron Black playing at some point?
Never really thought about it. Steve, obviously, Williams was terrific tonight. I mean, he's, you don't see very many teams that can play a guy like that at the 5. But with LaRon, I mean, there's no question he's a big part of, where we're going. And I think tonight he showed how much he's improved. And now the cat's out of the bag, and he's got to play at that level, every night in this league. You want consistency certainly over greatness.
You had a couple turnovers on baseline out of bounds plays.
That's disappointing. Yeah, the first one just we didn't execute it very well. It was bad. I mean, we just didn't run it right, and that's disappointing. And then on the last one, as Jeremy just said, we had a discombobulated lineup in the game, and moving some pieces around. Guys were playing some positions they don't normally play, and so we're trying to figure it out. I'll be honest with you, I thought about calling timeout, but I knew I had 2 left, and I burned them pretty fast in the first half, and I was thinking I may need 1 or 2 late, and just kind of the way it goes, I mean, if you had to do it over again, I might have used it now that I know we turned it over instead of getting it in. But, yeah, that's disappointing. That can't happen. That's first one, we just didn't execute it right. The second one, in our guys' defense, we had some guys playing out of position a little bit, trying to figure it out.
When it comes to consistency, is scoring like this something that Kendrick can do consistently the rest of the season?
Sure. It depends on the game, Again, we don't necessarily play that way. I mean, he obviously relying on him a little bit more right now with some injuries and so forth, but he mentioned him. It's the flow of the game, is he going to score 25 a night every night? And if he doesn't, then is people going to write, like, what's wrong with Kendrick Nunn? I mean, I get kind of like tired of that a little bit, but, it could be different guys. Hill might get 25. Then it might not be him that night. Then Cosby may throw it like he did the other night and had 19. I think Nana will play better, as Shannon was talking about earlier. I mean, he could make some shots. Starks could get in double figures. You just don't know. It depends on how the opponent plays it. We do have more options offensively, obviously, than we had last year, even with some injuries. So, we don't have to run offense to one guy every single time down the floor. So I think a lot of it depends on his opportunities in a given game and the flow of the game. But is he capable of doing what he's done the last 2 games? Sure, absolutely. He's shown that. And, I think he's in a real groove right now, and hopefully he continues to play aggressive. That's the main thing.